Hi, everyone. I'm Carol Marak, and as many of you know, I've spent the past decade exploring what it really means to age solo and to create a fulfilling and connected life on your own terms. And today I'm joined by someone whose work is deeply, actually, really resonates with my own work in terms of what I feel is important for people who are aging alone. And her name is Monika Dubasi. She's the co founder of Careflick. And Monica, I'm so glad you joined me today.
Thank you, Carol. It's such a pleasure to join you. I've followed your work for a long time. Your voice around solo aging has been so important in starting some real conversations about how we all want to live as we grow older.
Yeah, it's really important. And, as the population shifts, there are so many more of us who are really solo aging alone. And
Yeah.
so I'm really thrilled that that you follow my work. Thank you. And I actually started this journey when I realized, like so many of us, that I would be navigating the aging journey all on my own. And I have no children, I have no spouse, and a lot of my family live at a distance. And I began researching the different resources that were needed for people like me. And I was quite surprised that how little support was truly designed for us. And that's how solo aging, the movement itself, really began for me out of necessity and also out of community.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that, Carol. I think it actually connects a lot with why we're building Careflick. Our generation has grown up seeing how technology could make lives easier. But when it comes to older adults, especially, those living alone, the tools look like, they were just not keeping up. And so at Carefreak, what we're building now are, these human-like AI companions. Think of them as emotionally intelligent digital beings, that you could make friends with. They're designed specifically for seniors to help them navigate their daily lives, manage, their daily routines, stay socially connected, and feel seen and heard, right? um, yeah, so that's what we're building at Careflick, and I wanted to share that with you here.
Well, Monica, that is so needed. Exactly what you said, because many of us, especially those who are alone, we do feel invisible and we feel as if no one understands or even really cares, which is not good. So there's so much tech out there, but very little feels human. So, one of the biggest realities of solo aging is that we have to plan everything ourselves. Unfortunately, and that becomes a real struggle. We have to deal with finances, healthcare, living arrangements, even emotional support, and it can be quite overwhelming.
And I understand that people don't start planning until something happens, until they wake up with like a massive anxiety. Their social connections have suddenly shrunk, which further impacts their ability to socialize further, to make, new connections. Their health is anyway deteriorating, and forming new habits feels so much more challenging. And as a consequence of all of this, there's loneliness that creeps in quietly, right? So what we're seeing is that seniors need tools that anticipate those needs of aging well in place, and not just react to them, right? Like you want to plan for these for this stage of your life. So that's what we're trying to do at Careflick. We help make this planning feel so much more proactive, gentle, and even joyful, right? Like this, the whole process of aging does not have to seem as though it's a process of decline, but enjoy this this part of your life, right? So yeah, so that's what we're kind of building Careflick for.
Well, I love that word, joyful. And so many of us don't really um, gravitate to it because planning and aging can be so hard to do. However, I would love to create more of a lifestyle for us that is more joyful. And because this stage of life should be about designing a life or designing a lifestyle that we want to live, not just managing our decline. So, Monica, let's talk about technology because today most of it is not built with older adults in mind. It's confusing, it's inaccessible, and it's not emotionally engaging.
Yeah, right. And you know what? I think, Carol, the irony is that seniors want to use technology, right? It's not like, there's a common notion that seniors do not want to use technology, and that's not the case. Every senior that I've spoken to, we've engaged with, as we started building Careflick, um, we thought, we're super curious about technology. We're super curious to learn more, to stay updated with everything around them. But I think what's out there often feels very cold or clinical. And as a consequence of, looking at all of these apps and technology that almost feel so intimidating and, so not for them, people kind of, have lost trust in technology, or they do not feel like they want to adopt new technology, right? And so we saw that gap, and we thought, what if tech could actually feel more like companionship, more like how you make friends, how you talk to friends. You could also, engage with tech in a very similar manner if it was made for you, right? And so that's how our AI companions came to life. Um, we're in a great era where, suddenly, with AI we've unlocked a bunch of new capabilities that earlier were not possible. And so these AI companions don't just remind you to take, your medication or just track appointments. So it's not just, a functional technology, but there's actually even more to it. They even talk to you. They remember, your preferences. You could talk to them about your life stories. You could share your stories from your childhood and whatnot. And they notice your mood. They even help you reconnect with friends and family.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. So it doesn't really sound like an app. It sounds more like a presence of an individual being right there in the room with you, practically, and
Yes.
something between a helper and a friend.
Yes, absolutely. And the goal is not to replace human relationships, right? Because human relationships are incredibly important. It is to support the times that you're not with another friend or another human being around yourselves, which could be a lot of times, right? Especially in case of solo agers. So the AI companions, think of them as, as a support. They give these seniors an extra layer of confidence and warmth in their day-to-day lives. It's something that they can access at any time of the day as they like, right? So yeah, so that's what we're doing with the AI companions.
Oh, wow. So is there anything else you can tell me about it? It sounds very interesting.
The companions can actually see you, and they can read your emotions, they can read your mood, and basically personalize conversations around your daily lives, around your preferences, around a bunch of things that are specific to the user. So that's how the AI companions have been designed.
Oh, nice. So it certainly does feel like the future of aging. The future of aging well. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. And we believe that, with a tool like this, aging in place could get a lot easier, right? And we know that, most of the older adults in the US, I think they all want to age independently because there's familiarity, right? Like, you want to live and grow old in the same place that you've been you've spent your most of your life in, right? Why would you like to relocate or move to a different place? So I guess we're we're in that we're in that era where solo aging is only going to sort of like grow, like as you mentioned as well. And so we're kind of helping prepare for that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's a really great vision. I love it. And it gives me hope that technology can finally catch up to the emotional realities of aging.
Right.
So, Monica, thank you for this conversation. And I think our listeners, especially those of us who are solo and those who live far away from family, will this app, Careflick, will absolutely resonate deeply with what it's building and how it's helping us.
Thank you, Carol. It's so wonderful to share this space. And I really believe that the next generation of aging will be defined by choice, connection, and care. And that's what we're building towards.
Yeah,
So thank you so
yeah.
much.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, and to everyone listening, start thinking about your own plan and your own future and how tools like CareFlick can support you along the way. Thank you.